I was in two minds today. I was in two minds to give a review because I've been feeling very off. I didn't go to work today because my body was just off. I've been having headaches. I think it's generally the side effects of me taking, because I took some antibiotics earlier in the week, and I genuinely think that's the reason why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling, like very nauseous. Like I tried to eat some cereal this morning. I couldn't even finish my cereal. Like I couldn't eat the cereal. I had no appetite. And for me, that's that. Like I love having my cereal in the morning. So when that was happening and when I was feeling nauseous and stuff like that, I called in sick. And I've been in my bed the whole day sweating. So I'm thinking, am I actually coming down with something? I wasn't too sure. So I said to myself, okay, cool. At like 8 o'clock, I said, let me have another shower. Let me just freshen up myself. And I seem to have energy now. But it's like I still feel odd. I can't describe it. So I'm really just like monitoring myself at the moment and at the minute. But I have the energy to give you guys the review. But I was really 50-50. I was like, if you guys didn't see a review from me today, that would have been the reason why. Okay, but I managed to, and I just finished eating as well. I needed to eat something. But anyway, before we actually get into today's episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as you guys already know, I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Without further ado, let's get straight into this review. So, Millie is talking to the girls, and nobody is shocked about the situation. Charlie was sitting on the beanbag smirking. I'm thinking to myself, Charlie is actually a piece of sugar honey iced tea. This man knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, and he doesn't like the fact that there's other men that's calling him out. He thinks other men will co-sign his BS. And Shaq is a guy. I have to drag Shaq today because Shaq needs to actually take his mouth. Shaq needs to take Charlie's dick out of his mouth. He's like, that's how Shaq is moving. He needs to seriously control himself. You're too far up Charlie's ass to the fact where you can't breathe. But we'll get into Shaq when I get into Shaq. Millie said in the confessional that her and Jess are too good for him. And at first when she said that in the confessional, I was genuinely like to myself, let's hope that she sticks to this. And let's hope that she's not just saying it for the confessional. But so, okay, cool. So Jess has a chat with Tommy. Tommy said he doesn't like seeing Jess upset. I stand by. What did I mean by when I typed that? There must be a typing error. Jess felt that he was showing off in front of an audience. That's the same thing I said. That is the same exact thing I said. I said you could have had this conversation with Jess privately, because when the thing is, people that think that what Tommy done was okay, I question you, because for me personally, if someone cuts things off with me privately, I'm going to, the same energy you give me, I'll give back. So you done it privately, I'm going to do it privately too. If you done it publicly, best believe I'll do it publicly and then some. Do you get it? Because we need to add interest on top of the violation that you've done. The way that Tommy handled it, he didn't say, what Tommy didn't say, guys, I'm always a person that will say, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Tommy never said anything wrong. Yeah, he felt how he felt, which he's entitled to feel how he was feeling. He's entitled. Jess, she took the mic. She used him as a back burner. She took the mic, of course. Of course, she needs to be told about herself. But I just feel like doing it in front of everyone, was that necessary? Leave in the comment section below what you thought about that. I'm seeing like mixed opinions. Even ZZ Mills replied to my tweet. The great ZZ Mills. So, and you know ZZ Mills is a very opinionated person as well. So, yeah, but I do disagree with her. She said that Jess was the performative one, but me personally, I think it's Tommy, because he didn't need to do all of that. But anyway, we could agree to disagree on that point. Jack and Whitney are now in the secret garden. Now, okay, cool. I'm gonna read my note that I have for them, and then afterwards I'm gonna say my thing, right? Jack says that Whitney makes him nervous, but it's like a good kind of nervous. Guys, I can't lie. The other day I said I aborted the ship. And I'm still in the water asking for help, screaming for help from the lifeguard, right? I'm still in the water. But I'm not gonna lie. Seeing them two and the way they are, I'm grinning teeth, man. I'm grinning teeth because I'm saying to myself, I see it. I see it. Why am I smiling? Because I aborted this. I aborted the ship, and I'm still aborted. Don't think that this changes things. I'm still like, I'm not with it, but I'm happy. If Whitney's happy, I'm happy. That's the kind of energy. If she's happy, I'm happy. Because for me, if you can't even back the person that you're getting to know, I'm throwing her under the bus. For me, that's like a instant no. But I was smiling. Then they ended up sharing a kiss. And I can't lie, their interaction, I was smiling. I was just smiling way too much. Doesn't mean I'm back on ship or I'm back on board with them. It just means like, okay, cool. That was cute. That was nice. Okay, on to the next couple, on to the next scene. But I'm just keeping my eyes peeled. So I guess we'll see. Could I jump back on ship? Who knows? But if I jump back on ship, it's not going to be till past the midpoint. I'll be so real. Normally when I'm rooting for a couple and if they do something to, or one of the person does something to irritate me or both of them do something to annoy me, I fall off the boat. Then I won't climb back on until midway past that point, because then it's like, okay, this is serious now. It's still only the set. Oh no, it's not even. Tomorrow would have been a week, so it's not even a full week yet. Jess and Charlie have a conversation, and Jess is apologizing for telling Millie first. Why are you apologizing for being a girl's girl? I'm confused. But why? Jess is giving pick Misha. She's giving pick me. Because why are you apologizing? You're apologizing to Charlie of all people for telling... Huh? I ain't apologizing for Ish. I told my friend, and what? What do you have to say? I feel like some people are just odd. Like, that's not something I'll be apologizing for. Charlie doesn't even care. Like, he doesn't even care about the situation too tough. And so me personally, I don't get why Jess was apologizing. I put here, Tommy didn't even know that Jess and Charlie kissed, but like, we're past the whole Tommy and Jess situation now. Shaq and AJ are having a conversation. AJ's asking, will he still be kissing Helena? Nothing jotted down for Sammy and Kieran apart from them laughing and kissing. Cool. So we get to Helena and Sean. Sean feels like he's back to himself now that he's speaking to Helena. This is the thing. I want to give Helena advice, but I know she's not going to take it. So like, I'm going to be wasting my time. Because I'm going to get to it when I get to it. Sean said he was jealous of her and Shaq cuddling up. This man is using the same lines to the different women he's chatting to. There's a pattern here. Sean has no game, you know. And now I'm not saying I got the best at game. Me personally, all I do, I don't do what it that when I flirt. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna tell people how I flirt personally, but I'm not saying I've got the best of game. I've got all the riz. I hate that word itself gives me the ick. I hate using that. That's for you youngsters. I don't use that word. Let me not ever use that word again. Let me just stick to using the word game. I'm not saying I have the best of game, but I'm not cringe. I know that I know that much. I'm not cringe. Watching Sean and Helena makes me sick. I mean that so respectfully. And it's not even from Helena's point. It's from Sean. Because Sean said something to Helena, right? He said something to... What did he say to her? Before they kissed, he said something to her. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh, I cringe so bad. And even he knew that it was cringe what he said. He was like, that's probably the cringiest thing I've ever said. I'm thinking to myself, this man has no game. And I put here that it's actually given last option. So Belle has rejected you. I beg your pardon. Sammy has rejected you. So now you've come back to Helena. I want to really give Helena advice, but I know she's not going to listen. But what I do hope happens is Shaq and Helena get together. And Sean is now single. That's what I hope happens. Because Sean be playing with girls. He be playing. And Sean doesn't even have the attributes to be playing. Do you get it? So, yeah. We then get to Whitney and Konnor, and Konnor asks Whitney if he wants to get to know if he wants her to get to know her. Why are the men moving like cats? And I don't mean like C-A-T, I mean like the P word, but I'm not gonna say it. Why are the men moving mad? If you want to get to know someone, get to know them. Why are you asking? Just get to know. Yeah? If Whitney doesn't want that, or she, she's like to herself, you know what? No, I'm happy with my situation with Jack. I actually don't want to get to know you, da-da-da-da-da. Then that's when you stop or you pull back. You don't ask someone, do you want, is it okay if I basically get to, like, asking for their permission? No, graft. Because that's what ladies like in a man. Ladies like when a man puts in effort, Believe it or not. I know the game is rigged these days and a lot of ish be happening, but ladies do like a man that puts their front foot forward and is like, listen, you get it. But I don't know why Konnor's also pretending. This whole thing with Whitney, it must just be part of the plot or something. It must just be a side plot because this is not real. We know, Konnor, we know what you like, and again, there's nothing wrong. There's absolutely nothing wrong, but it's the pretending for me I don't like. So we need to just dead this whole Whitney and Konnor thing straight away because I don't know who Konnor thinks he's trying to fool, but you're not fooling me. I know that much. You're not fooling me. Sean and Charlie then have a conversation. And Sean is basically trying to tell... I can't lie. Sean is the last person to be giving Charlie advice. And Charlie was right. You cannot say anything because you are a confused goat. You are the one that you are the one was telling Belle that you fancy Sammy when you didn't need to pull up our conversation. So you are in no position to be given advice like that. I'm so sorry. I'm like, respectfully, you don't have the right to be given advice to Charlie. So I can see why Charlie got irritated and walked away. I would have walked away too. A man like Sean trying to advise me on stuff that he's been doing. But the thing is, if Charlie was slick with it, he could get away with it. Not that I'm promoting it, but Sean is just confused and silly. He couldn't get away with stuff like that. Do you get it? So how am I taking advice from you when you're in the same boat as me? I beg you, behave. Just behave. No, remember, stay in your place and stay in your lane. Like, relax. Like, don't get too big for your boots, innit? Shaq and Helena have a conversation. Helena's irritated at Shaq because Shaq hasn't spoken to her since the recoupling. And AJ and Konnor are watching. I don't know. AJ needs to explore her options a bit more. She kind of just came and pounced on Shaq straight away. She needs to explore her options a little bit more. Charlie and Millie have a conversation. Millie says that she doesn't want to share a bed with Charlie. And I don't know what Charlie was expecting. Like, you think you could play with women and do whatever you like and still be sharing them. Now, if Millie allowed you to still share a bed with her, she would have been a joker. But I guess Millie has self-respect. I guess she does. Because Helena wouldn't even do something like that. Because I was almost going to be saying, from yesterday's episode, I almost was going to put Millie in the same boat as Helena, I was close. But it seems that Millie does have self-respect for herself. So, okay, cool. That's fine. AJ is saying that she wants to take a step back because, she's just been all Shaq. From since you came in, you was thirsty. Yes. Very, very thirsty for Shaq. And I'm thinking to myself, there's other men in the villa. Like, you're just Shaq. Even giving him nickname Shaq Attack. Now, I think personally, she's taking a... If it was a case where Shaq said, I'm just focused on you, there is no way she would have said that. You get it? She would have been all in too. But it's the fact that Shaq still said, no, I'm still open to getting to know Helena. That's why she's saying she'll take a step back. But really and truly, who else is AJ going to get to know? This is the thing with All Stars. This is why I prefer the regular series. Because with All Stars, it's like, people know people, right? People already know people. So for me, it's just like, who do you really see AJ getting to know? Leave in the comment section below. Sammy, Millie, and Helena are having a conversation. And Millie is saying that she's turned off Charlie at this point and how she's got the ick. And once someone gets the ick, that's it. There's no coming back from that. There's actually no coming back from that. When somebody gets the ick, that is it. And I don't care what anybody says. There's no coming back from getting the ick, Tommy and Jess have a conversation. Tommy feels he doesn't have a spark with anyone in the villa. And they end up squashing the situation. So that means Charlie could be... not Charlie, sorry. Well, I do want Charlie... As much as I want Charlie to go home, the drama between Charlie and Scott is giving good TV. And I think that's the reason why I don't think Charlie's going to go home. People want him to go home, but I don't think he will. I just send Tommy home. Just let Tommy go home. Tommy, there's not like, guys. It would make sense to send if when I watch Shamora and Tommy's still in the villa, it's just not gonna make sense. It's not gonna make sense. But you see, the thing is, this thing has happened before, not with Tommy. Who else it happened with? It's happened where someone didn't have like a. Or am I thinking of Love Island games with Tyreek? Maybe this is what I'm thinking of. Tyreek couldn't compete for Ish and lost it till the final. So it's possible you could not be in a couple, but if the public love you, because literally we don't. Come on, let's be real. We don't really vote based on the couples, guys. We vote based on who we like most. That's what, like, the first vote is favorite boy, favorite girl. It's not favorite couple yet. So, me personally, I feel like Tommy needs to go home. There's no one in there for him, so it only makes sense for him to go home. Charlie pulls Millie. Charlie says he doesn't want to mess things up. Millie doesn't want to be in no triangle. She's taking a step back. She told him that she's turned off a little bit. And she said in her confessional she's starting to see the red flags. So at least she's seen the red flags and she's made herself aware and she's taken a step back. So good on her for that. Shaq and Helena having a conversation, and Shaq was confused at what AJ was saying, because 1 minute she's all in for Shaq and now she's saying that she wants to take a step back. And then Helena was like, is it giving hideaway? And then Shaq said it might be giving hideaway. And then Helena is basically feeling the same way about Sean. So like I said, it's really giving that Sean is basically, he's really looking for crumbs at the moment. That's what he's looking for. If it was 2 boys and 2 girls I had to go home, really Sean and Tommy could actually go. They could actually come back they could actually take a flight back home together. Really and truly, if I'm being honest. Scott asked Charlie how the chat went. Scott said he hopes Charlie sees that he wasn't coming from a bad place. If I was Charlie, I would stop talking to Scott. Quite frankly. Like, if I know someone is blabbering my business and going and talk to this person and that, guys, let's put right or wrong out of the equation for just 2 seconds, yeah? Whether they know I'm right or wrong or whatnot, the fact that you're just involved in my business all the time would piss me off. It doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. I'm saying, put that aside, put the morals aside for a minute. The fact that you're in my business all the time is a problem. And Charlie's better than me personally, because Scott, I don't like seeing Scott in this. Like, Scott he wasn't like this on his season. So me seeing Scott in everyone's business like this, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll be real. I don't like it personally. You're too much in Charlie's business. At the end of the day, if Charlie wants to one thing I've always said about men, because I'm a man myself, right? So one thing I've always said about men, when men want to be playing games, at some point they lose. You can't win a game forever, right? So at some point you lose. He would trip up himself and end up getting caught in his own BS. And I get that Scott is trying to, be mediator and be like, oh my God, what you're doing is wrong, this, that, and the third, etc., etc. And I totally get that and I totally understand that. But with that being said, is that you being involved, that would irritate me. I'm sorry, and it's always you involved in my business too. You need to just focus on what you have going on before you hear some words that you might not like, because that issue really annoy me. Honestly, it would really, really irritate me. Scott and Jess have a conversation, and Scott said that Charlie kissed Jess to make Millie jealous. I don't think Charlie said those words. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Charlie said those words. I don't remember, to be honest, but I don't remember hearing Charlie saying that. And I think Scott is just Scott's being so messy this season. Like, he's being so messy. And I already knew from Scott telling Jess that was going to start some problem. I had a look at the first look anyway, and I just knew that was going to cause some issues. Charlie speaks to Scott and Sean. Charlie's basically telling them to mind their business. And yes, rightfully so, mind your business. It's not all the time you need to be in my business. You're too involved. I don't know if the producer are telling Scott to do this, but me personally, I'm not liking it. I'm gonna keep it so real. It's not. I don't have a problem with Scott. You lot know I like my Scott t-shirt, but it's too much. If it was to happen on, let's say, Monday, and not to happen, and then we waited until Thursday again, okay, cool, because it's spaced out. Almost every day, Charlie and Scott are butting heads. Now it's getting irritating now. I'll be honest. It's annoying. Scott said everything happens in the villa. It was just kind of like a thing to let him know before it kind of exploded, which makes sense because he did tell him, but then the same thing did occur. So I guess Scott has a point there as well. He does have a point. Belle got a text that the boy bands are performing Blue. Now at first I was like, who the hell are Blue? But then I was listening to the songs that they were performing. I'm like, oh, I know these individuals. I don't know them, but I've heard the songs. I was really like, who's Blue? But I didn't know them. I didn't know them by the group name. I've just heard the songs before. So I was like, okay, cool. So Charlie was listening to the girls' conversation in the dressing room when Millie was basically like, it's 31, but it's giving 18-year-old. I'm not gonna lie. That's facts. And yeah, it might not be a nice thing to hear, but Charlie's not acting his age as well. He's not. He's actually not acting his age. He's really not acting his age. Jess is gonna go over and have a conversation with Charlie. Scott, I even wrote down here, this is what I started to eat, so like my notes are a bit all over the place. I said that, Scott, if Charlie never said those specific words, don't be putting words into his mouth, because that's something that would really irritate me. If I know that I never said something and you're telling ladies that I said that, and that's how you interpret it, I never said that. Don't put words into my... I feel like if I was in that villa, me and Scott would have some serious issues, because I can see why... I can see why Shaq is... okay, we're going to get into that part in a bit. So then, yes, Shaq is defending Charlie. So I put here, Shaq, get Charlie's dick out your mouth, which is true. You're too much up Charlie's ass, because Charlie is doing wrong thing. You're too much up his ass. But on the flip side as well, Shaq is right. Stay out of people's business. I understand that you're trying to be Superman and you're trying to save these ladies, but you have Leanne. Me, personally, I'll just be focusing on my focus. And this is what I'm saying. I know the producers are putting Scott up to this, because when Scott came in on Smoke to Sean, I knew from then, yeah, Scott is that guy to get ish done this season. That's what it is, and that's okay. But for me, it's irritating, actually. I can't lie. Like, just being in people's business like that, it's annoying. And that's why Shaq said, why do you keep being involved in people's business? But Shaq needs to stop sucking on Charlie. You actually need to stop sucking on Charlie. You need to leave it out. You need to stop it. You need to get his dick out your mouth, because it's going too far in your throat. Leave that to the gays, okay? You're a straight man, allow it. Yeah, you're glorifying Charlie too much, allow it. It's a bit mad. Millie and Charlie are having a conversation. Millie said that Charlie handled the situation wrong. Charlie doesn't know how to handle his emotions. He's like a kid. So it is giving 18-year-old. He gets too angry. I mean, listen, I understand. And I get it. I understand that the man is in your business and it's frustrating, but there's still a way that you need to handle this conversation. But I need to be that person. Actually, no, I'm not going to say, no. Let me just continue. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. There's no need. That's just me now being messy. There's no need. Shaq and AJ are having a conversation, and Shaq tells her it's more on a sexual level and that he wants basically to slow it down. Charlie and Jess, Charlie apologized to Jess for getting annoyed. AJ, Leanne, and Jack are talking, and AJ starts basically getting upset and crying, asking if she's being a bit too much. And she said it's basically embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie, it was embarrassing. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, it was. How you was behaving was embarrassing. Because it was given you was hungry for this man, and we did try to tell you, explore your options. Yeah, you came in and you done what a bombshell should have done, but with that being said, I know AJ's in, well, no, she's embarrassed. You know what? AJ's not crying at the fact that she moved to Shaq. There's nothing wrong with that. She's crying at the fact that Shaq didn't pick her. Do you care? She's crying at the fact that Shaq is still talking to Helena. I'm pretty sure she said, okay, if Shaq said, I'm going to lock things off with Helena and just speak to you, she wouldn't be crying like this. There's no way. She's embarrassed at the fact that Shaq didn't pick her. That's just what it is. And then Maya Jama enters, and then obviously in tomorrow's episode, we're going to see who's getting dumped from the island. My predictions is, I'm going to say Tommy because I already mentioned his name. And the girl that's got to go, you know what? Surprisingly, I don't mind Helena so far. I cannot believe it, but Helena is not annoying. Like I said, I think because she's around different company I think Meg was just a bad influence on her. I must say, I'm sorry, but I think Meg was actually a bad influence on Helena. Even though Helena's a grown woman, yeah? Sometimes you are the company you keep. And Helena's a lot more tolerable this season. So I actually want Helena to stay a little bit. Who's the lady that I want to go? I wouldn't mind seeing AJ go, to be honest. Like, I don't care for her, respectfully. Yeah, so AJ and Tommy. I know there's probably names I'm missing, but hey, those are the AJ and Tommy. But yeah, guys, that is it for tonight's episode. Thank the Lord that he gave me the energy in order to fulfill and give you guys this review, because it really was a big question mark about today's review. But yeah, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Take care.